name's Kate Sargent, Evergraze Project Leader from the Department of Primary Industries. Today I'm going to show you how to use a feed budget and rotation planner to plan a simple feed budget. How long will my paddock last? When you first download the feed budget and rotation planner from the Evergraze website, you'll see an instructions page, data entry and data tables. The data tables are taken mostly from ProGraze and Lifetime Ewe Management, and they are all the figures that we put in the back of this calculator to work out your feed budgets. They're also a very useful reference for you for things like knowing how much your animals are eating or how much energy they're taking in. Okay, back to the top and main menu. So in the data entry page we've got three columns: a simple paddock feed budget, seasonal budgets and other useful tools. The other useful tools are our paddock grazing days recorder, calculating phosphorus required and the cost, developing a livestock feed ration, and the monthly stocking rate calculator. In the planning ahead section, these are for longer feed budgets, so summer and winter feed budgets, as well as our rotation planners, which help you to plan a rotation. How long will each paddock in say an 8 paddock rotation last? The simple feed budgets are for short-term decisions. So an example I'm going to show you today is how long will the paddock last. In my scenario, I've got 10 hectares, so I put that in the top, like so. Okay, now the current food on offer, this is in kilograms dry matter per hectare. To help us work this out, Table 6 provides a guide. So the height of the pasture correlated with the density of the pasture gives us approximately how much feed is available. So for example, if I've got 7 centimetres of pasture and it's a moderate density, then I've got about 1750 kilos per hectare. So I'm going to put my 1750 in there. Now another useful guide to help you to work out how much feed you've actually got available is on the Lifetime Wool website actually. And this is just what they show here. So for my pasture that's 1700 or 1750 kilos per hectare, it looks a little bit like this. Okay, that just gives you a bit of a visual guide. Alright, back to my feed budget. So my pasture quality is measured in digestibility percentage as well as the energy intake, so in megajoules metabolizable energy per kilo. My particular pasture has about 15 to 30% clover and it's green and growing, so I'm going to select 75% digestible. Okay, my consumption wastage factor is something I have to put in there because I'm going to get some trampling and fouling from my stock that are in the paddock. This will be higher at higher stocking rates, or in particular in wet paddocks where you're going to get a lot of trampling. So I'm going to use a figure that's about 30%, which is pretty common. At very low stocking rates, you should get less trampling and fouling, but do be aware that you may actually get some losses through senescence of the pasture. So you might find that you need to have slightly higher wastage factors in that scenario as well. Pasture growth in kilograms dry matter per hectare per day. The best way to work this out is actually to measure your pasture at regular intervals and get to know how your particular pasture performs. However, Table 7 does provide a bit of a guide, and the Making More from Sheep website also gives you some sticks and rulers and some of the average figures in there as well for different regions. This little guide just basically says we're in June and we're in temperate Australia, we've got a good pasture, it's going to be growing around 20 kilos per day. Okay, good enough for now. So 20 kilos per hectare per day. My desired food on offer when the animals are removed. Now this is a good question. So the first thing you need to consider is what your animals require. Table 5 provides a bit of a guide for this. So I've got lactating ewes with single lambs on them. My pasture is 75% digestible, so I need at least 1,000 kilos per hectare per day to maintain these ewes without feeding. Some other considerations you might want to consider are your pasture persistence. So for example, if you want to make your pasture persist, you really need to keep it above about 800 kilos per hectare. So you can see on the MLA pasture ruler here, you're getting down into the red zone, down below 800 kilos per hectare. Maximum growth will actually happen between 1200 and 2200 kilos. That's when the leaf area is good enough for the best growth and not too much to prevent shading. Ideally you want to keep it here, but that's not always possible, so at least keep out 800 available. Okay, so my desired food on offer when I take the animals out, I'm going to say I want to maintain my ewes, so it's 1000 kilos. I've got ewes and they're 60 kilos and they're lactating, and I've got 1000 of them. Okay, so you can see here that it's already calculated for me how much my animals are eating, so 2.5 kilos per head per day, and they're taking in 25.8 megajoules of energy per day as well. The paddock is going to last me about 2 days to graze down to my 1000 kilos. So if I reduce the number of animals here and make them 500, then obviously it's going to last double the amount of time, so 4 days. Now I just want to show you that if I reduce the digestibility of the pasture down to 40%, it now tells me that my pasture is unsuitable for my animals and I'm going to have to supplementary feed them because they're only taking in 1.2 megajoules per head per day. Okay, so 75%. Now I want to put some steers in this paddock as well, so I'm just going to put my second stock type, weaner cattle, and they're 250 kilos. Obviously the reproductive state is not applicable for them, and the number of animals grazing here, I'm going to put in 200 animals. Okay, you can see that by doing that, now my pasture is actually going to last 3 days. Alright, so that's basically how this little calculator works. It's fairly simple. I'll record some more instructions for some of our other calculators, but to download the calculator, go to www.evergraze.com.au. Thank you.